From trusted allies to fierce adversaries, the United States and Iran have traveled one of the most volatile diplomatic paths. In 1953, the CIA, along with British intelligence MI6, orchestrated a coup that overthrew Iran's PM Mohammad Mossadegh after he nationalized Iran's oil resources and reinstated the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who became a key ally of the US. The US provided extensive military, economic, and nuclear support to Iran. In return, Iran acted as a bulwark against Soviet influence in the Middle East, with the Shah offering vital military bases and intelligence cooperation. The Shah's regime, however, was increasingly unpopular due to widespread corruption and closeness to the West. By 1979, opposition to the Shah had become overwhelming, culminating in the Islamic Revolution led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The new government adopted an anti-Western stance, including halting the nuclear program initiated under the Shah. That same year, Iranian students stormed the US embassy in Tehran, taking 52 American hostages and sparking the Iran hostage crisis, which lasted for 444 days. This incident severed diplomatic ties and led to the imposition of sanctions against Iran, as well as a deepening animosity between the two countries. During the 1980s, while the US publicly backed Iraq in the Iran-Iraq War, it secretly sold arms to Iran in the 1985 Iran-Contra affair. The covert deal aimed to free American hostages held by Iran-backed militants in Lebanon. Funds from the arms sales were illegally diverted to support Nicaraguan Contras, defying a congressional ban. Then in the 1990s, Iran's nuclear program was emerging as a key concern for the US. Also, following the Gulf War in 1991, the US sought to contain Iranian influence in the region. In 2001, after the 9/11 attacks, the US briefly cooperated with Iran in Afghanistan to fight the Taliban. But this cooperation quickly dissipated as President George W. Bush labeled Iran as part of the axis of evil in 2002, citing its support for terrorism and its nuclear ambitions. The significant incident occurred in 2015 when the signing of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, a landmark agreement between Iran and 6 world powers, the US, UK, France, Russia, China, and Germany. Under the JCPOA, Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. This was hailed as a diplomatic breakthrough and a key moment in the US-Iran relationship. However, in 2018, President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew the US from the agreement, reimposing sweeping sanctions on Iran under his maximum pressure campaign. This move again severely damaged relations, and Iran in turn began violating key aspects of the nuclear deal, allegedly enriching uranium beyond the agreed-upon limits. Tensions escalated further in 2020 when the US conducted a drone strike in Baghdad, killing Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's Quds Force. Soleimani was a key architect of Iran's regional strategy and its support for proxy forces across the Middle East. His death marked the most significant US military action against Iran in decades, leading to retaliation by Iran, which launched ballistic missiles at US military bases in Iraq. This incident brought the US and Iran to the brink of war. By 2024, the US and Iran were still at odds, with diplomatic efforts to revive the JCPOA stalling, while both nations continue to engage in proxy wars. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, and US supporting Israel. And recently, the US conducted airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites at Natanz, Fordo, and Isfahan to hinder its nuclear progress. In response, Iran launched ballistic missiles at the US Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, risking wider conflict. The history of US-Iran relations is not just one of tension and conflict. It is also a tale of missed opportunities, covert engagements, and a world constantly reshaped by their rivalry. This relationship, spanning decades, has not only shaped the Middle East, but has become a defining feature of global geopolitics, with its impact still unfolding today. Like, share, and subscribe the Geo Frontline.